Back in the days, before Houdini became the dominant 3D software for effects and simulations, there was a really popular tool for Maya and Max called Phoenix FD. It came out of nowhere and found its place pretty quickly. Actually, it was used by artists for more than 15 years, but in the last few days, its developers announced that it has reached end of support status, which basically means it is not gonna receive any updates or maintenance in the foreseeable future, which I think is a nice way of saying goodbye really slowly. This is the story of the rise and fall of Chaos's Phoenix. Phoenix FD, as it was called in the beginning, didn't start as a big all-in-one simulation tool that people think of it today. Back in 2010, Chaos Group introduced it as a pretty focused tool, basically a fluid dynamics plugin for 3ds Max, which was mainly about smoke and fire. And the idea was simple: to give artists a way to simulate explosions, fire, and gaseous effects directly inside their software, instead of relying on external tools. But what's interesting is how fast it evolved. I mean, within just a few months, Chaos started pushing it beyond that narrow use case. So by the end of 2010, Phoenix FD wasn't just about smoke anymore. It got liquid simulation too, which was a huge jump. So suddenly you could do water, splashes, foam, and so on, and not just basic stuff, but with controls like turbulence, better shading, and tighter integration with V-Ray. And you could already see the direction. They weren't building a niche tool. They were aiming for something actually production ready. Then around 2011, things shifted towards usability and polish. Phoenix FD 2.0 wasn't just about more features. It was about making the tool actually usable in a real workflow. They added things like foam and splash shading, improved GPU previews, and better control over what gets rendered. And this tells you something important. Chaos realized that simulation isn't just about accuracy, it is about iteration and speed, because artists needed to preview quickly, tweak, and not wait long for the results. At the same time, Chaos wasn't thinking small. By 2012, they were already expanding beyond 3ds Max and testing Phoenix FD inside Autodesk Maya. This move alone was huge, because it meant Phoenix was becoming part of a broader pipeline. I mean, especially for studios which were already using V-Ray in Maya. Then comes the phase where Phoenix really leveled up, with the Phoenix FD3 era, which was around 2016 and 2017. And this is where it stopped being a fire tool that also does fluids, and started feeling like a complete simulation system. The big breakthrough here was the flip solver for liquids, which made water simulations way more realistic, with better splashes, foam, mist, and all those cinematic details. I remember when I paid close attention to Phoenix FD was around this era, when they introduced liquid simulations, and I was honestly blown away, cause it looks so good in the demos. On top of that, they improved the fire and smoke so you could get more detail without just cranking resolution and killing your machine. And they added things like presets, GPU previews, and even ocean systems. At this point, Phoenix FD became something that you could realistically use for full production shots, and not just small effects. After that, the focus shifted again, and this is basically the Phoenix FD4 era, which was around 2019. Instead of just simulating and hoping it looks good, they started giving artists tools to shape simulations without constantly re-simulating things. Stuff like text UVW, where textures stick to the fluid, or voxel turners, where you can tweak behavior procedurally. They even added basic rigid body interactions, like water pushing debris and a standard cache viewer to preview simulations faster. Then we've got Phoenix 5, which is the most recent version, in which they added more direct simulations, like controlling velocity flow and tools to analyze where your simulation is slowing down. Basically, they made it faster and better. If Phoenix is this good, why is it being discontinued or reaching the end of support phase, which feels weird at first? Because when you see it, you're like, this is actually solid, why kill it? But the truth is, it didn't really get killed in a dramatic way. It just got quietly parked aside, which means the software still works, but they are not touching it anymore. No updates, no fixes, nothing new coming. And honestly, when a company does that, it is not about the tool being bad. It is about them probably deciding we are done investing in this, most likely for monetary reasons. The deeper reason maybe is because Phoenix just stopped filling into Chaos's bigger picture. You see, over time, Chaos shifted from making individual tools to building more of an ecosystem around things like V-Ray and their bundles. And let's be honest here, Phoenix didn't disappear completely. It will be included in these packages, but as its own evolving product, it kinda lost its importance. It is like it went from being the main character to a background tool. Another big part is something most people don't think about. Maintaining a simulation tool is actually a nightmare. Phoenix had to constantly stay compatible with different versions of Max and Maya, in addition to V-Ray, and every time one of those change, something can actually break. There are even some cases where mismatched versions cause crashes, in addition to errors, just from incompatibility. So imagine being part of the development team. Instead of building cool new features, you are stuck fixing compatibility issues over and over again. At some point, this becomes a drain, and especially knowing that the tool isn't as popular as it used to be. Then there's the uncomfortable part. The market changed. Phoenix used to be in a really nice spot, but over time, the space got squeezed. Think about it. On one side, you've got Houdini taking over high-end simulation, with way more control and scalability. On the other side, newer tools are pushing faster workflows, GPU acceleration, and real-time feedback. So Phoenix ended up being in this awkward middle ground. It is good, but it is not the strongest anymore, or at least one of them, and it is not the fastest either. And in this industry, being in the middle is actually risky. And yes, there is also the business reality that nobody likes to say out loud. Fluid simulation is a niche market inside a niche market. I mean by that, not every 3D artist and not every studio needs a fluid simulation tool all the time. Compare that to something like rendering, which literally everyone uses. So from Chaos's perspective, you've got a tool that is expensive to maintain, technically complex, and used by a smaller group of people. At some point, it just doesn't justify the investment anymore. So when you step back and look at everything together, it actually makes sense. And I think one of the biggest reasons is how Houdini is changing everything. Back in the day, the way people did VFX in software like Max or Maya was honestly kinda messy. You had your main software, but it couldn't really do everything. So what people did was stack plugins on top of it. If you wanted fire or smoke, you used Phoenix or Fume effects. And if you needed particles, you brought in Thinking Particles and Krakatoa. For destruction, you had Rayfire. So your workflow wasn't just one tool. It was like 5 or 6 tools glued together just to make one shot. And that was honestly completely normal at the time. The reason all these plugins existed is actually simple. The main 3D software didn't have strong built-in simulation systems, because honestly Autodesk didn't bother, so plugins filled the gaps, and they did a really good job. Each one was specialized in something very specific. Phoenix did fluids, Fume Effects did fire and smoke, Krakatoa and Thinking Particles handled particles, Rayfire handled destruction, in addition to other plugins that did other things, and they were really powerful, but also very niche and focused. And that meant one thing: your production pipeline was kind of fragmented. Then Houdini came in and flipped the whole idea. Instead of being a software with features, Houdini was built as a system where everything is connected through nodes and procedural operations. It's basically a visual programming environment where every step of your effect is part of a network that you can go back and change at any moment. So instead of tweaking sliders and hoping for the best, you're actually building the logic behind the effect. And this is where things started changing, because Houdini didn't just replace one plugin, it replaced the need for plugins in general. It already had tools for fluids, smoke, particles, destruction, cloth, and everything else in one place. So Houdini artists didn't need to jump between different tools anymore. And instead of working with Max, plus all those bunch of plugins, lots of VFX houses and artists went straight to Houdini to do everything in one place. So Phoenix FD had a good run. And unfortunately right now, it is in a pause phase, which is an indirect way of saying this is actually the end. They just said it in a nice way. And there you have it, guys. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also, please subscribe to this channel to receive more videos like this. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.